Power Rangers, the daughter of the Red Cornish Ranger. Minnie was 17, with long brown hair. She wore a top that had some band on it from the late 90s, a grey jacket, and a pair of denim jeans. She stood there in front of her father's grave. It had only been a few weeks since she lost her father. She took a deep breath as she read the gravestone. A loving husband, loving father, the Red Cornish Ranger. Her father was Mark, the leader of Power Rangers Royal Britannia, a team of rangers in the United Kingdom. They all fell after a big battle with a monster made from the ashes of Morgana, the witch. The monster was a warlock using spells similar to how the witch Morgana did. He used his magic to defeat the Power Rangers, killing them all including the Red Cornish Ranger. Hey Dad, it's Minnie. I finished college yesterday. Just wish you were here to see. Mum's doing okay. She still cries every now and then. She tries to hide it from me. I don't know why. I don't know, I guess she is trying to be strong for me, I guess. Minnie said to the gravestone. She placed her hand on the gravestone and sighed once more. I just wish you were here. I wish I could rewind time or travel to a universe where you were still alive. Maybe a universe where you just stayed a fan of the Rangers. Minnie sighed. Then she kissed her fingers and placed her fingers on her father's name. She wiped away a tear and walked off, making her way home. As she walked into the house, she found it empty. I guess Mum's still at work, huh? She huffed. Then she took a deep breath and walked into the garage. Her father's van was sold a few weeks ago. The money was used to pay off some of the bills, but the garage was now filled with boxes which over the years her father had put in there. Everything in the room belonged to him. Her mother kept complaining about the garage, how she could use the space, maybe sell some of her father's old stuff, and put the keepsakes in the attic. But whenever Minnie brought it up to her mother would change the subject or find a reason to leave the room. So Minnie brought it upon herself to clear the boxes out, even if it was just some of the stuff that could be sold or thrown away. She wanted to help out somehow, and to Minnie this was the best place to start. She started opening the boxes and sorting out the content in the piles. One pile for throwing things away, one for selling, and one thing to keep in the attic. One pile which made no sense at all to her, so it was dubbed as the maybe pile. She found old clothes of her father's, his old nursing uniform. She found a box set to an old British show called Doctor Who. She used to watch it with him when she was little. She found his old Doctor Who costume he wore to Comic-Con when she was 5. She smiled and placed the Doctor Who stuff in her bedroom and returned to the boxes where she found a map of a world and some pins, some blueprints, and a book with a bunch of notes written inside. She started reading them and realised that this was the plan that were made by the Power Rangers Royal Britannia. They were old notes and documents of old villains and allies. Morgana was mentioned, Jason Lee Scott, the original Red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, even Merlin was mentioned, the old wizard who gave her father his powers in the first place, after he found the rune that had fused him with the morphing grid, after coming in contact with Jason when her father was a young adult. She rolled her eyes and placed all the Power Ranger stuff in a box and picked it up and walked over to throw it away pile, when suddenly something fell out of the box and hit the floor. Oh, come on, Minnie moaned. She dropped the box on the pile and walked over to the small object and picked it up and held it in her hand. She dusted it off and saw that it was the Cornish power coin. It was all black with 2 white stripes going through it, resembling the Cornish flag. What is this doing here? Minnie asked out loud. She had it twisting feeling on her stomach as she fiddled with the thing in her fingers. She grabbed her jacket and ran out the garage and ran for the graveyard. She found her father's gravestone and she dropped to her knees and looked at the gravestone. She looked above the writing on it and saw what she thought was the Cornish power coin embedded into the gravestone, a choice her mother made when she paid for it. So, am I holding a fake, or is that the fake one? Minnie asked herself. I think you already know the answer, a voice said behind her. She jumped up and turned around to see an old man hunched over with long white hair, a long beard to match, and a wooden stick in which he used a walking stick. He wore a long grey poncho-like cloak which draped over him. Who are you? Minnie asked him. Again, I think you already know the answer, the man replied. You're Merlin, she stated. Correct, Merlin said. Okay, so what are you doing here? Minnie barked. I sense a tone, young lady. And why would that be? Merlin asked. Minnie looked at the gravestone, then backed at Merlin. Oh, I see. You blame me for your father's passing, Merlin stated. You made him a ranger, Minnie snapped. He had a choice and he made it, Merlin said. Minnie exhaled long and hard as she knew that the wizard was right. "Why are you here, old man?" she asked. "I was called here," Merlin told her. "By who?" Minnie asked harshly. "Not who, but what," Merlin said. Minnie looked confused, then she looked down at the Cornish power coin that was still in her hand. "You mean this?" she said, holding up the coin. "Yes, a few moments ago it called to me like it did the day I made your father into a ranger," Merlin explained. "Why?" Minnie asked. "It has found a new candidate for its power," Merlin told her. Minnie stood there shocked. "Yes, Minnie, it's you. It has chosen you," Merlin said. "It can't be. I can't be a ranger," Minnie blurted, unconvinced. "Well, let me say this. Your father's murderer has been seen in Cornwall. He is growing stronger because fear fuels him," Merlin explained. "What? He's back?" Minnie blurted. "You must avenge your father," Merlin said. "But I can't be a ranger. Stop saying that," Minnie snapped. "It is fair to say it is your choice, but knowing Morganoir, he'll hunt you down, all those linked to you and the rangers. But only Mark had an offspring," Merlin said with a sigh. "So I'm the only threat left to this thing," Minnie stated. "You can call it that, yes," Merlin said with a nod. Minnie thought about it for a moment, then shook her head. "I can't be a ranger. My mother would kill me before the monster even had a chance to," Minnie snapped. "Mark would haunt my dreams if I left you here unarmed," Merlin said. "What does that mean?" Minnie asked. Merlin then lifted his big stick and slammed it on the ground, and the power coin floated out of Minnie's grasp, and a red aura started emanating from the coin. "Now let's reawaken those powers, shall we?" Merlin said, and slammed his stick down once again. The red aura turned into a bright red light. "Nice stick," Minnie smirked. "It's a staff, young lady," Merlin commented. "Sorry, geez, can you knock the red bulb off, please? Red is a harsh colour," Minnie snapped. "You don't like red?" Merlin asked. "I do, it's my dad's colour. I'm more of a fan of pink, to be honest," Minnie replied. "Okay, that is fair," Merlin said. Then he clicked his fingers and the ball of red light turned into a bright shimmering pink. The wizard then muttered a spell and several weapons appeared. A sword, a lance, an axe, a bow, a set of daggers, a dragon flute dagger, and the white saber with a tiger head on it known as Saber. "Whoa, those are the power weapons. But why are two of them damaged?" Minnie asked, pointing at the dragon dagger and saber. "They were the last weapons your father used." "I cannot fix them," Merlin explained. Then Minnie remembered a conversation she had when she was younger with her father. He walked into the kitchen and found her colouring in a picture she made of Saber that had the attachment of the dragon dagger. "Hey kiddo, what you doing?" her father asked her. "I upgraded Saber," Minnie had responded. "Oh wow, dragon dagger and Saber fused together, huh? That's kind of cool," Marek had responded. "I thought you're always complaining about not being able to eat your sandwich, so I fused them together, so now you have a free hand," the young Minnie told her father. "Yeah, that makes sense, kiddo, not gonna lie," Marek chuckled as he gave her a hug. Minnie stood there with a small smile. "I see the clever idea forming in your mind, young Minnie." Merlin grinned, then he clicked his fingers together and fused Saber and the dragon dagger together, forming into an exact picture that she had drawn several years ago. "Holy crap!" Minnie blurted out in shock. Then all 6 weapons turned into light and got absorbed into the power coin, and the bright pink light died down and floated to Merlin, who caught it with his wrinkled hand. He wobbled over for Minnie. "You may not be a ranger, but for protection at least," Merlin stated and handed over the power coin. She took it. It was warm, almost hot. She could feel the power within her hands. It was like the Cornish power coin was vibrating. "I can't take this," Minnie muttered. "Just keep it on you for now. You never know when you might need it," Merlin said. Then he walked past her. "I don't even know how to activate this thing," Minnie called out as she turned around and found an empty field behind her. Merlin was gone. "Oh, come on, man," Minnie moaned. She headed home to find her mother in the kitchen cutting vegetables. "Oh, hey, sweetie," her mother called out. "Hey, Mum, I kinda need to talk to you," Minnie said awkwardly. Her mother placed down the knife and the half-cut carrot and turned to her daughter. "What's up?" her mother replied with one hand on her hip and a half-smile. "Morganoir is back in town," Minnie sighed. Her mother let out a small exhale. "I know, I saw the news. The police asked if we wanted an officer to sit watch with us. They came to work and spoke to me," her mother replied. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. For obvious reasons," Minnie chuckled. "Yes, you do have a point, don't you?" her mother asked harshly. Minnie took a deep breath, then pulled out the Cornish power coin and placed it on the kitchen table in front of her mother. Her mother gasped slightly. I think I met Merlin, Minnie said. That stupid wizard. Did he give you the powers? Her mother barked. I think so, Minnie responded confusingly. Damn it! Her mother snapped and sat down at the table and held her head in her hands. Hey, Mum, it's okay. I told him I can't be a ranger. Not after how we lost Dad, Minnie told her mother, sitting next to her. It's okay. Maybe you should be a ranger, her mother said, wiping her tears off her own cheek. What do you mean? Look what happened to Dad. Take away him dying, he went... Anyway, even though he had a wife and a daughter, he had a commitment and he still went, Minnie snapped. Actually, he didn't go on his own volition, her mother said. Minnie looked at her mother with shock. What does that mean? Minnie asked. When Morgana died, the Rangers went their separate ways. Royal Britannia was disbanded, and life went on. Everyone had their own lives, and of course, me and your father had you. Everyone met you and loved you, and then one day, Morgan Noir appeared, and the team came back together and told Mark that they were going to go after him. And they told your father to stay here. He had a child. None of them had any other major responsibility, so it made sense. Well, he spent several days and nights not eating, not sleeping, and he came home to a packed bag and his morpher. I told him to go after his team and help them out. I convinced him to morph into the Red Ranger again, and that was the last time I ever saw him, her mother explained. I had no idea, Minnie said in shock. She sat there, mouth open. If you feel like you have to fight this thing and any other monster that threatens humanity, I'm completely behind you, her mother said. Thanks, Mum, but I don't know if I can, Minnie replied, staring down at the Cornish power coin. Several days went by. Minnie kept the coin in her pocket. She carried on sorting out the garage, whilst her mother went to work. She packed her father's old nursing stuff and walked it to the hospital. She walked in and walked up to the receptionist. Oh, hey, Minnie, I haven't seen you in ages, the receptionist blurted. Hey, Sarah. Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry I haven't been around, Minnie said. It's all good. How's your mum holding up? The girl called Sarah asked. Yeah, she's coping. She's doing good, considering, Minnie explained. Then Minnie placed the box on the counter. I have my dad's old nursing stuff. It's been cleaned and everything. Thought I'd give it back instead of just throwing it away, Minnie told Sarah. Oh, of course, thank you. That's actually really helpful, Sarah said and grabbed the box off Minnie. Minnie and Sarah chatted for a few minutes, then Minnie left the hospital. She stood on a pavement and pulled out her phone. She stood there for a moment when suddenly a thick black fog came moving at incredible speeds. It was living, breathing, and it swooped in and grabbed Minnie off the ground and dragged her through the city at incredible speeds. Minnie screamed out in fear. She couldn't see anything. Then the smoke dropped her and she hit the ground. She rolled across the floor and slowly picked herself back up. She looked around to see herself in the centre of town. Everyone was running in all directions in fear, screaming for their lives. Minnie looked around and she saw it. She saw him, the half-human, half-monster fused abomination known as Morgan Noir. Hello, Minnie, he rasped. Morgan Noir, Minnie grunted. You do not fear me, Morgan Noir barked. Minnie noticed that she was not trembling, nor did she feel fear. He was right. In fact, both her hands were scrunched up into fists. I have nothing to fear, Minnie snapped. Well, Minnie, you are wrong, because I'm going to kill you, Morgan Noir grinned, his half-human revealing pearly white teeth, his monster half revealing half demonic fangs. Suddenly, the Cornish power coin floated out of her pocket, floated up to her face, and then in a flash of pink light, the coin was inside a power morpher, which floated in front of her. She grinned and took it in her hands, holding it rather tightly. Oh, you're a ranger now, Morgan Noir asked. Well, if you must know, I am Daddy's girl, Minnie chuckled. Then she threw out her hands and the morpher extended and the coin flashed pink. Colonel Bisficken, she called out. In a flash of light, she was morphed into the Pink Cornish Ranger. Her ranger suit resembled the pink Mighty Morphin Power Ranger suit, but with a golden shield similar to the green Mighty Morphin Ranger. But the Cornish flag was in a diamond shape in the centre. Her helmet was all black with the flag as the visor. Oh, goody. You decided to do it, a voice said in her head. The Pink Cornish Ranger looked around and then looked down at her hilt to see Saba and the Dragon Dagger combination. Saba still had his blade, but the handle was that of the Dragon Dagger with the flute mouthpiece, and his head was at the end of the handle like before. She pulled Saba out and held the blade down. Saba, you look amazing, but why are you speaking funny? The Pink Ranger asked. I don't know. It's weird. I know, but I am now fused with different weapon, maybe that's it. Anyway, I'm here to help. Call me Saba Dragon Dagger Formation. Saba called out. That is way too long of a name. How about I just call you SD? For short, the Pink Cornish Ranger suggested. Oh, I love it. Now let's kick some butt, SD yelled. Then the Pink Cornish Ranger dropped into her fighting stance, holding on to SD. No. You're meant to be easy to kill, Morgan Noir snarled. Too bad. This is going to be quick, the Pink Cornish Ranger said sarcastically. Then Morgan Noir summoned orb of black smoke and threw it at the Pink Ranger. She swung SD and cut the orb in half. The monster-human hybrid threw two more. The Pink Ranger dived to one side, dodging them. Then she advanced, ducking and swatting SD around, blocking and dodging the smoke orbs as Morgan Noir threw them. Then he summoned more black smoke and it formed into a spear. He then ran at the Pink Cornish Ranger and jabbed the spear at her. She blocked the attack, then used SD. She pushed the spear away and before spinning around and kicked Morgan Noir in the chest, making him stagger back. She then slashed him several more times. Morgan Noir grabbed her by the arm and pulled her close. Oh, no, you don't! SD grunted and shot white lasers from his eyes, which cut through the monster's human hybrid's arm. Morgan Noir yelled in pain, and then he swung his hand. It suddenly got encased in smoke as he backhanded the Pink Cornish Ranger, knocking her off her feet. She climbed back up to her feet carefully and pressed her power morpher, which acted like a belt buckle, and summoned the power bow. She then cartwheeled around Morgan Noir and started throwing more black smoke orbs at her, exploding behind her as they hit the ground. She then aimed and released an arrow which struck the human shoulder, then shot another two arrows which struck his chest. The third arrow, but this time he swatted it away. The Pink Cornish Ranger then ran at Morgan Noir, who summoned his spear and jabbed at her. He swung her foot up and did a half-circle motion, kicking the spear away. Then with her foot she pushed down on the spear, forcing the tip to penetrate the concrete. Then she swung SD, slashing Morgan Noir in the face. She ran up his body and with both feet she kicked off of him, catapulting herself up into the air. She pressed her power coin and summoned the red power sword. She then landed in front of Morgan Noir with the tip of the power sword and hit his smoke-encased hand away from her. A black smoke energy blast fired off from his hand, which hit the ground nearby. Then she used both the power sword and SD and slashed him multiple times in a flurry of slashes. Morgan Noir started staggering him backwards as he took the brutal flurry of sword strikes. Then Morgan Noir opened his mouth and a blast of black smoke exploded from his two-faced mouth and hit the Pink Ranger, sending her flying back. She held both blades in a cross formation, using it as a shield, but it didn't stop the attack from pushing back, her feet sliding across the ground. The beam stopped and the Pink Cornish Ranger dropped to one knee and tried to catch her breath. Get back up, girl, come on, SD said to her. I'm getting tired. I don't even know how I'm doing this, she replied. The morphing grid is downloading the information your father learned into your brain. You fight just like him, SD said. Wait, just like him? She repeated. Yes, I remember the way he fights. I must have all my memories still, SD cheered. She took a deep sigh as she watched Morgan Noir tilt his head up, charging another beam. I'm gonna fight for his memory, the Pink Cornish Ranger muttered. Oh, is it power cannon time? That was your dad's favourite move, SD called out in excitement. No, that was my dad's move. I must honour his legacy. But I am my own ranger. I've got my own finishing move, she told SD. She climbed to her feet. Okay, let's hear it, SD called out. SD, I actually gonna need you, the Pink Cornish Ranger said as she looked down at her saber. I've got you, girl, let's go, SD replied. The Pink Cornish Ranger ran two fingers up the power sword's blade. It started to glow white. Then she slashed it down vertically, causing a white line to form in front of her. Then she gripped onto SD and swung him horizontally, making another white slash line which crossed through the vertical one, making a white cross. Then Morgan Noir leant forward and released his charged up attack. The big beam spewed from his mouth and hit the white cross. The Pink Cornish Ranger covered her face with her arm and then realised that she was being protected by her own formation. This is for Cornwall and my dad. Pink Cornish Final Slash, the Pink Cornish Ranger called out. Then she roundhouse kicked the white cross, which was sent flying forward, pushing through the black smoke blast attack, and then it hit Morgan Noir, cutting right through him. Then an explosion burst from him. The cross diminished and Morgan Noir fell to his knees. Screw you, he blurted, and fell forward. He hit the ground and blew up in an eruption of flame and black magic. Then it was all gone without the trace. The Pink Cornish Ranger was victorious, and Minnie had avenged her father. She stood there with the power sword, and it vanished in a flash of light. SD floated next to her, his blade pointing down so he could see. "You did it, girl!" SD cheered. "Yeah, I did," the Pink Cornish Ranger said. The civilians all came crawling out from hiding and started crowding around her, all cheering and clapping. Some were crying, some were chanting her name. She spun around and realized how many people she actually just saved. Then it hit her. Merlin didn't give her father's powers to avenge her father or to protect herself, but to be a protector of the people, just like her father was. "You understand now?" Merlin's voice echoed through her mind. "Yeah, I do," she muttered. The Pink Cornish Ranger waved at the crowd and bowed. She started shaking hands. "Are the Rangers back?" one person asked. "Royal Britannia died as heroes trying to protect us, but now I'm here to stand in their place. I hope you accept me as the protector of this town," the Pink Cornish Ranger said to the crowd. Then the crowd all clapped and cheered once more. 6 months later, Minnie barged into the house and found her mother ironing. She threw her bag onto the sofa, walked into the cupboard under the stairs, and untied her shoes. "Hey, honey, how was school?" her mother called out to her. "Good, and it's college, but yeah, it's hard," Minnie responded. "I saw you fighting the putties in the park," her mother said to her. Minnie walked into the room and flumped on the sofa. "Yes, should have called first. Sorry, I kind of walked into the scene. Kind of had no choice," Minnie said. Then SD floated out of her bag. "She did a splendid job, ma'am," SD told her mother. "Well, I'm just glad she's got you, SD," her mother said. "I am as well," SD replied. I am right here, you know," Minnie barked. "Go get changed out of your uniform. Dinner is cooking," her mother commanded. "Aye, aye, Captain," Minnie mocked. Then she climbed out of her chair and grabbed SD by the handle and walked into her room. She closed the door, then looked at her work desk to see a black-haired girl sat on it. She automatically held SD up to defend herself. "Easy, girl. I ain't here to fight," the girl said. She hopped off the table and walked over to Minnie. "My name is Katomi Uchiha," the girl said, holding out her hand. "Minnie," she replied, dropping her guard, shaking the random girl's hand. "I know who you are. We've been watching you," Katomi told her. "Who's we?" Minnie asked. Katomi handed her a card similar to a playing card, but it was all black. The back of the card had the word Hojo spray painted on it, and the front of the card had the Cornish flag on it. "What's this?" Minnie asked. Katomi pulled out another card in front of her, and this one had a red eye on it. "It's your ID card and your invitation. We are Task Force Hojo." Hojo's the Japanese word for auxiliary. "We're building a team of rangers to fend off the threats to the multiverse. You up for a challenge?" Katomi asked her. Minnie looked at the card, then SD started floating and looked at Minnie. "I think it's a splendid idea," SD said. "Minnie, dinner's ready in 5 minutes," her mother called from the kitchen. "Okay, coming," Minnie yelled. "You want to stay for some food? You can use the time to catch me up," Minnie grinned. Katomi nodded with a smile, and Katomi then turned around and let Minnie get dressed. Then both girls walked out of Minnie's room and walked into the kitchen, and Minnie introduced her mother to her new teammate.
If you enjoyed that story, then why not follow Tiger Tales One Shots on YouTube for many more fantastic stories by Ty Tiger, one of the 3 Ranger Bros.